Hello everyone, it's Dr. Julie coming to you with a virtual Mission Monday. Dr. Julie Nudge of Encouragement. Yep, you guys are seeing me from my home office in Arizona. We are absolutely practicing what we preach, and that's being as responsible of a world citizen as we can be. We are all at this point working virtually so that we can hopefully contain the spread of this incredible virus that has been affecting our whole world. My heart is with you all. I hope that you and your loved ones are healthy and that this incredible, unprecedented time is not being too disruptive or too damaging to your life. Now, I decided this week that I wanted to do a nudge of encouragement that was certainly always around our growth process with helping with the emotional and binge eating process. But I've got to tell you, I had to incorporate once again issues that are affecting us all with this COVID virus situation. So I came up with three nudges that I think are going to be really important for you to be able to practice if and when you are similarly relatively sequestered into your home. We know that being home for extended periods of time and sometimes being a little bit stir crazy and bored can oftentimes lead to turning to food as a way to kind of support yourself through that time, to comfort yourself during those difficulties. And I really wanted to be as proactive as possible to help you with that on this Mission Monday. So I came up with three relatively straightforward points that I am going to nudge you with encouragement to practice as you move forward into this week, possibly the next week, and possibly the months, because I think this will be very helpful to you. Okay? So the first nudge of encouragement would be to practice on a daily basis, taking yourself out of your home and in some safe manner being outdoors, possibly in nature, but at the very least under the blue open air sky. It's so important that we not keep ourselves kind of too contained indoors. After a while, that can really wear on anybody's heart and psyche, and that can lead you to turn to food. So just sitting out in your backyard, taking yourself to a local park, and of course practicing social distancing, walking around your block if that feels something that you're comfortable with, just getting outside, breathing the fresh air, ideally moving can really shift your mood and kind of get you out of that oppressive feeling that sometimes can lead to emotional eating if you are in your house for too long. Okay? The second nudge of encouragement to help you through this time is really related to this overall feeling of lack of control and powerlessness. I don't know anyone that I have spoken to that is not affected by this current situation, whether it's fear of your own health or of elderly family members, or perhaps the economic repercussions of this unprecedented time. And it's very easy to feel completely overwhelmed and helpless because of the lack of control that is inherent in this situation. So my second nudge of self-support is going to be to find something that you can do that allows you to feel a relative sense of control within this out of control situation, kind of like an action plan for yourself or for your family that's going to give you a sense of, okay, I can't control this big picture, but I can do these small things that are going to make me feel better. It's going to decrease my sense of overwhelm and my anxiety, And therefore, I'm not going to feel as compelled to use food as a means to comfort. All right. So, for instance, one of the things that we're doing in my family is really, really cutting down on any spending that is just absolutely not necessary. Now, I know that that might be hard for the economy in the long run, but it's making me and my family feel like, hey, right now, with some unknowns in the near future, we're not going to kind of spend on some of those things that are not necessary for our family. Okay. Other people that I've talked to are making sure that they do have a reasonable amount of supplies in their house in case for some reason it does move to a total shutdown. Now, this does not need to be excessive, but just enough that you feel like, hey, we're good here for the next couple of weeks or for the next month. All right. So I would nudge you to think about what within your own life or your family you can do an action plan or two that gives you a sense of relative control and relief within a situation that is, in general, out of your control. Okay. Lastly, the nudge that I think is also really helpful during these times is to focus on what is some way, small or large, that I can help others during this time. You know, so many times it's easy to get just completely absorbed in our own fears and our own overwhelm. And it does help us to be able to focus on others and to do something in order to help other people that we care about, other people that are in need. So, for instance, can you call some elderly family members and just check in on them? Let them know your heart, that you're caring about them, thinking about them, and possibly offer to help them in some way. Another way that you can help if you're in this position, and of course, if this is just comfortable for you, but, is there a way to maybe help in small ways other people that might be struggling, financially? So I've heard of people, kind of giving donations to waitresses or restaurants, for people that are now out of work, right? So just something small, and I feel a little bit uncomfortable even saying this, but just whatever might be in your heart to try to help others in this time of need. Again, I'm not encouraging you to do that for any other reason than to just have it feel better within yourself, because we do know from a psychological point of view that when we balance kind of concern for ourselves with concern and then help for others, it helps to kind of balance out that sense of stress and anxiety and overwhelm, and it contributes to our own personal well-being. Okay, so to recap, during this unprecedented time, 3 suggestions is to be able to take yourself out of your home in a safe way, to be outside, kind of shifting that energy from being kind of within maybe some of your own thoughts and your own anxieties and going out to the more expanded out of doors and nature. Number 2, what are the things that you can control? And definitely go into a small action plan. It will make you feel like you're doing something to help yourself in this situation. And lastly, focus on others in some way. It will balance out kind of that overwhelm that you feel just kind of in the helplessness of the situation. And sometimes that we can get lost within ourselves with our own fears and catastrophizing regarding our own life, to say what is something small or larger that I can do in support and help for others. I believe if we do some of these tasks, we will feel less overwhelmed, and there's a less likelihood that it will be channeled into emotional eating or binge eating during this time of lack of control. Okay, my hearts are with you all throughout this world. I am just hoping that this is a relatively short-term event, and ideally that will all bring us together as a world and as a community, and also that you're going to find strength and resources within yourself that maybe you didn't even know that you had to get yourself through really difficult times. Okay, everyone, I will see you on Wednesday for the video cast. Take care, be well, stay healthy.